Hi, everybody. My name is Leon Thomas. Welcome to New Biz Buzz, where we talk to new business owners to help them create buzz about their biz. Here we go. Folks, Leon Thomas again. You're watching New Biz Buzz, where we help new businesses spread the buzz about their biz. If you have a new business or you know someone that does, please ask them to contact me and we'll get them on New Business Buzz. My name is Leon Thomas and my email address is leonthetrainer at gmail.com. That's Leon the Trainer at gmail.com. Let's bring in our guest for today, Katie Miller. Katie Miller is an entrepreneur and has a lot of good things going on that fit right in with the theme of what we're doing here at New Biz Buzz and what we do at Leon Thomas and Associates. Katie, how you
Hello.
doing?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm just fine and dandy.
I know. I'm so excited.
Good deal. Good deal. We're smiling and laughing already. This is gonna be a fun time. So Katie, here's the thing. I was working with the children of a friend of yours, the child of a
Yes.
friend of yours, on one of our concepts called Cooking with Kids, where we're helping someone develop a cooking show. And that friend contacted you, and they basically said, Leon's the coolest thing ever. You should contact him. Is that what they told you?
She told me that she knew someone who could help smooth out the waters a little bit and just help me get a better understanding on what I possibly could do with my business.
Hmm.
Since I literally just started my business 6 months ago. And since I trust my friend very much, she's always given me excellent advice. I went on ahead and reached out to you, and I'm very glad that I did.
Okay, good. I'm glad you did too, and it's good to know that folks are saying those things about me and what we do at Leon Thomas and Associates. That's so good, and we're really about helping people reach the goals that they have, and helping people that want to help others. So it's great to have you on. Now, you mentioned that you just started your business like 6 months ago. Tell us about your business and what led you to do that.
Well, I had worked for a insurance company for about 14, 15 years, when unfortunately I was placed on furlough due to COVID, just like so many other people out in the world. However, I did not want to be bored. So I reached out to my mom, who happens to be an entrepreneur, and asked her what I could do to help her with the business and with a nonprofit my family had started about a year ago called the Teen Suicide Prevention Society. So I started being a virtual assistant and running the tech for her events and just fell in love with the tech part and helping people take content and turn it into online courses. So I started a business doing that. Um, right about the time I found out that my position was being dissolved. So I actually got my business up and running like the week before the actual termination date, which I was so glad I got that done.
Yeah, yeah, that is so cool that you did that. So now, so many people, particularly now, and it's not the only time we've experienced this, where folks get laid off and dismiss from jobs and all those things. But particularly now, I'm finding so many people that have skills and interests and gifts and talents, and they're not using them during their time. They're still at I'm looking for a job in my same industry mode, or the company didn't treat me fairly, and they keep making statements on social media about them. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you
Well,
doing? Do
well,
something, do something.
I
How
will
did you
admit
get there? I love that you're doing it.
I will admit that I was very angry when all of this happened. In fact, I completely cut contact with all of my friends from my corporate job, because I was just so upset about everything. But I also knew that if I didn't do something, I was going to get really bored, and that would just lead down to negative emotion, and we did not want to go there. So, figuring I'd ask to see if someone needed my help because I've always liked helping other people gave me the opportunity to realize what skills I picked up in my corporate job that I could translate into, oh, I know how to run a Zoom room because I did virtual calls at the corporate office. Oh, I know how to do make computer program A talk to computer program B. Okay. So I didn't think anything of it, but come to find out this is something that a lot of people struggle with. So I was like, okay, well, I might as well make a business out of it, make a little money on the side when I go back to the office. However, since that didn't happen, I'm just making money on the side all the time now.
Yeah, yeah, I like it. I like it. And you know what I really like, and I hope folks watching this appreciate also that you mentioned you have skills that you can help others in, but you also mentioned that you help your mom in some of her businesses as well. And as I recall, one of them is in suicide prevention. So everything it's come together that you're helping people. Tell us about that, the aspect working with your mom and the suicide prevention.
Well, in August of 2019, my sister came forward in a very public way. She gave a 7-minute talk. And the 7-minute talk referred to her first suicidal attempt at the age of 14, and then continued with the several suicide attempts that she had made over the next 13, 14 years. And it was her dream to come up with tools to help teens deal with the negative emotions and negative thoughts that bounce around in their heads and provide them with these tools before they realize that they actually need them. And that is pretty much what launched the mission for the Teen Suicide Prevention Society. So that was started by myself, my two sisters, and my mom. And what we are started with was just reaching out to the high schools and providing tools with how to know, like, and trust yourself better, how to have a conversation that helps break those negative thoughts and repeating um, emotions bouncing around our brains, and just help people lean back from the ledge. And we've been able to help more people than I could have imagined. In fact, I'm actually helping 2 or 3 groups overseas. I've got one group in Kenya where the youth leader has actually given me stories back of 16 girls that decided not to take their lives after going through this program that pretty much my mom created.
Yeah.
But I help on the back end part of things, and my sister
Mhm.
Stephanie helps as well, and my other sister Jamie.
Yeah.
We all try and do our part to help out.
And so you in Kenya, so you have a worldwide reach. You're helping
Yeah.
people literally, the overused word these days,
Yeah,
literally
literally.
worldwide.
Yeah. All it took was I updated my profile on Facebook saying that I am a mom and a co founder for the Teen Suicide Prevention Society. And these youth groups from Kenya, Liberia, Nairobi, which is actually in Kenya, and there's a few other places as well, just started reaching out to me asking what tools we had available to help out. And it's like, okay, well, let's just see what we can do to help everyone out because every life is precious.
Yeah.
And the scary part is before COVID hit, 3,000 teenagers a day in the US alone attempted suicide. And those are just the ones that attempted, not the ones that died. And that number has more than doubled since COVID-19 happened, not just for teens, but against all demographics,
Hmm.
all age groups, all doesn't matter what kind of job you have, it doesn't matter where you live. And this is just it's an epidemic that the news is starting to bring forward. But we really need to have more tools on the prevention side, what we can do now to help improve our emotional resilience. So then that way we know when we can just lean back a little bit and not have to go down a dark path.
Hmm. Nice. Wow. And so then, I was going to ask you one more question before we take a quick break.
Sure.
Now, so the team, give me the name of the organization again.
Teen
Uh,
Suicide Prevention Society.
okay.
And if anyone wants to go to the our website, teensuicidepreventionsociety.com, we are actually collecting names for petitions. So then that way we can bring the pure prevention side of this, just having conversations, getting to know, like, and trust yourself better, to local governments, to the CDC, so they can have more realistic numbers, because the CDC is running a year plus behind with the statistics that they are providing on suicide alone.
Hmm. And so when you're talking about working with the folks in Kenya and other countries, then is there a pamphlet that they're attacking to online, or are you having conversations with them virtual? How does it
I
work?
am actually in a Zoom room, for lack of a better term, doing a live coaching call with one group in particular. There are other ones that they don't have the money to pay for data to do Zoom calls. So I email them copies of the Know, Like, and Trust Factor Assessment, the Why Not workbook, which was created. We are in the process of changing our 6-step conversation to a 4-step conversation, just to make it a little bit easier and more streamlined, so anyone can use this when they're talking to a friend, family member, coworker, an absolute stranger. Just a way to help everyone out there
Yeah.
is our mission.
I like it. We're going to take a real quick break and we'll be back to talk more to Katie Miller. My name is Leon Thomas. I'm talking to Katie Miller here. Katie's doing some outstanding work, was laid off from her job and didn't let her that put her down. She's doing so many good things that are helping people and has kind of created a niche for herself. You're watching New Business Buzz. If you know someone that has a new business, particularly a business that is making an impact on the world and the community we live, please ask them to email me. My email address is leonthetrainer at gmail.com. And to learn more about Leon Thomas and Associates, go to leonthetrainer.net. We're back here again with Katie Miller. Katie, it's so good to have you on the show, and I'm so pleased with all the things that you're doing. And so, as I listened to your story, you learned skills. You called it a Zoom room. You learned how to do
Right.
that when you were in the corporate world, right? And they said politely, "We don't want you anymore," for whatever the reason is, right? But you said, "I'm going to take these skills and transfer them to other things." And now look at all that you're doing. You have to feel really good now with all the things that you're doing, your own business plus helping others. That's got to give you a good feeling, huh?
It does, and it took a while for it to register that I actually am helping all of these people, whether it be helping with the training with the Teen Suicide Prevention Society, or whether it is helping clients take their message to help change the world and turn it into content that they can then present in a webinar or present in an online course. Um, One of the things that I found out, which I find is absolutely hysterical, because I love theater and I really wanted to be on stage when I was in high school and after graduating high school. Um, but now I like being more the support person. I want to be the person behind the scene. I want to be the wizard behind the curtain, referencing The Wizard of Oz, one of my favorite movies. I want to be the person behind the scenes to help provide the support and the stability for the person on stage who has their message to share. And my mom just happens to be have a great on stage presence. So for me, it's really easy to be in the background when my mom wants to talk. But I'm learning that I can't hide in the background. So um, I'm starting to get a little bit more comfortable with talking about my own business and everything up front, because I realize that that helps people too.
Yeah. Yeah. How cool is that? Good for you. Good for you. I'm just glad so many great things are happening. Now, you mentioned that you have heavy experience in Zoom. I'm finding that so many people use it for meetings, but they really don't know a lot of the features that they could be doing, or they really need someone like you, me, and others to work with them, or our producer Jay to work behind the scenes to get things done. How do you get people to understand that, look, you're the subject matter expert, you go on camera and talk about whatever it is during your webinar, let me handle the PowerPoint and running the polls and monitoring the chat and playing videos and all that? How do you convince people
Oh,
that
I
they
don't have
really,
to.
how's it go?
I don't have to convince people.
Really?
It's really funny. I have actually most of my clients are doing Zoom room meetings or trying to do a webinar, whether it be with Zoom or with a different platform, and they complain about trying to juggle doing
Uh,
their slides while they're talking, while monitoring the chat, while trying to drop links in. And they were asking for tips how to do it in a smoother fashion just to make everything flow because they've seen my mom do her events. Well, my mom just says, talk to Katie because
uh,
she's the one that talks, but I'm the one that does everything else. I'm the one that's monitoring the chat. I'm the one that's moving people around, whether it be in break rooms or promoting them to a speaker when it's someone that my mom is interviewing. And it just makes life a little bit easier because then the person that's quote unquote on stage or the person on screen is able to focus on what they are passionate about. So, I'll take the stress of juggling everything and getting it to work while you focus on the most important thing, which is getting your message out.
hmm I know what that's like from both sides,
Mhm.
because I was a trainer in the corporate world, and we would alternate. Some days we were the on-screen personality, and then other days we were the producer in the background. I've seen that from both sides, but also I'm fortunate to have a great friend and an established producer, Dr. JR, in the background right now, who's doing all the button clicking and all those things, so I can focus on having a great conversation with you. And it makes such a big difference that you can focus directly on what you want to focus on. One of the things that I did yesterday, this is yesterday, in fact, check this out. So I'm in a conversation with someone, with a group of people, regarding my mom's health care, and they wanted to do it via Zoom. And so I'm logged into Zoom on my mobile, and I'm waiting for them to join. It's supposed to have been an 11 o'clock start time. They don't let me in the room until 11:05, which is irritating. And then secondly, they say we have to get an iPad. So they go and get an iPad, and it's like all these people keep coming into a room. I mean, the physical room, not the Zoom room.
Oh
They
my
all keep rolling into the room. And I'm like, why is everybody coming in the room? Oh, we're going to have a conference call with you. And I said, we're using Zoom. Why don't you stay in your office and you stay in your office and you stay in your office? We all can be in the same place. The answer, Katie, check this out, was that's just how we do it.
I have
And
seen it both ways
yeah.
because I will say in the corporate world, I saw it where there would be a small meeting room that would have maybe half a dozen people in it, and they would be on a video call with another small meeting room in a different building in a different state,
Mhm,
but everyone was able to see each other instead of everyone sitting at their desk on their individual headsets,
mhm,
which could be distracting to the other people sitting
mhm.
around them who were
Okay.
not participating in the same meeting. So, from some aspects from the corporate side, I can see why putting everyone into one meeting room makes sense. But so many people are working from home now. So, you really don't need to have everyone climb into one room.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, it's amazing, and folks like you that are the pros at it, that know this. It's great that folks can reach out to you and say, "Look, I need help. I need help. Help me with
Well,
this." It's great
I'm
that you can do that.
I'm kind of curious why they needed an iPad to begin with, but
Well,
that's just my brain working.
yeah, yeah. And the thing for me, because they weren't a client of mine, this was business for me, personal
Mhm.
business with my family. And so I said to them, I do this stuff every day. I can help you. I can help you now make this a better meeting. "Oh, no, 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 we know what we're doing." And I'm going, inside, I'm like, "No, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't have a clue." But
And
how do
that's
you,
okay.
yeah, that's right.
And that's
Right.
okay.
Right.
If that's how they want to run the meeting, then
Mhm.
by all means, that's the way that they want to run the meeting. I just like to give people options,
Yeah. Yeah.
because sometimes they can work out the tech, tangle, deal with the monster, and have everything run smoothly. And then there are other times that they'll get fed up and they'll be like, okay, somebody else needs to take care of this before I get super frustrated.
Yeah.
And that's just one of the things that I found in the many different kinds of summits and workshops and webinars that I was going to for my mom and for other clients. That, I had one who was doing an online course, and I just sat in the back of the class pretty much until there was one day that she just had a rough day with tech and she asked me to help, and it was no big deal. But that's something that I offer because I know sometimes the tech monster likes to come and invade and mess everything up.
Right. That's right. The tech monster. One of the things that I try to tell some of my clients is we have to be prepared for something to go wrong, because something happens. So are you prepared for it? Hey, listen, one more area that I wanted to talk to you about real quick in the short time that we have left is a concept that you and I talked some about offline, is that students that are in high school, that there's so much pressure for them to pick a college, pick a major, go to college, and that's not always the right answer for everyone. There's trade schools, there's get a job and work, there's experience. And you were telling me about some conversations you were having with others about that as well.
Yes, actually, my mom likes to brag that she is a professional. Um, how does she put it? That she is a professional college dropout who happens to have her own business and rocks the world. Because my mom did go to college after my sisters and I graduated, and she was there for a little bit and decided that college was not for her. Thankfully, in her mind, and I agree, that she did it before she ended up in debt. However, one of my friends, Dr. Moses, is the one who I mentioned before. He actually has got several degrees that he got through college. And he's come up with a program that helps teens while they are still in high school. He'll even help teens as young as 12 or 13 start the process to figure out what life path they want, to find out whether going to college or going through a trade school or doing a internship is the best route for them based on what their purpose is in life. And just helping him with the course that he's creating right now has helped open up my eyes and has helped me actually have conversations with my teenage son to see what it is that he wants to do. Now, my son is set on what he wants to do, which is absolutely fabulous. But it turns out my nephews have no idea what they want to do when they're done with high school. So it's really good information that he is offering, and I'm excited that his course is going to be starting soon. And as soon as when he has that all set up, then I'm going to make sure I put a note on it on my Facebook page.
Yeah, and we'd love to have him on the show, and you back with him
Yeah.
maybe, to spread the word about that, because so many students need that. And I think a lot of school counselors and teachers need to hear that message as well. I know that when my sons were in their late junior year and early senior year of high school, the whole talk was what college you're going to, college,
Yep.
college, college, when you want to major and what do you want to study. And I mentor several college students, and some of them are in majors that they don't like or don't know a career path in it, and they're not receiving direction. And I think it goes back to the high schools, and there's just so many options for students.
There are,
You
and
know,
I will admit, I did not go to college. I graduated high school. I went to San Francisco for a few months to try my hand at being a professional clown. Thankfully, it was with my aunt, so I was able to get away with a lot of stuff. Um, but it turns out that college was not my thing. When I came back to the East Coast, I moved in and married my husband, and we've been married 21 years now.
yeah, nice. For me, I went to college, and I majored in sport management, and I had no clue what I wanted to do. I just knew sport was cool, right?
Yes,
It
I
didn't matter.
agree.
I didn't know, and I later found out that the first job is usually a ticket sales position where you're selling season tickets to single A minor league baseball, and you're not making any money. You're living three in an apartment, but you hear the big stories about everybody making money in sports, and I didn't know that until I got, junior year, senior year. I'm finding out, there's internships that are going to pay you $9 a day plus meals in Memphis, Tennessee, or somewhere. And I'm like, why did I do this?
I didn't know you
Why?
needed a college degree to sell tickets for sports.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're going to do, and what they hope the path is that season ticket sales usually start in a minor league
Hmm.
system and or small level basketball, whatever it
Right.
is. And what happens is as you progress up the ranks, that pyramid of people gets smaller and the pyramid of positions gets smaller also. And so folks start in these small levels and hopefully they make it up to the major leagues. But I mean, it's great for people that want to do that, but I wasn't aware. No one told me.
Right.
And I wish I had folks like you and Dr. Moses way, way. I'm not going to tell you how many years each way gets attached to, but way, 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 way back when that folks would have told me about that. So it's Katie, you are
Yeah.
doing and involved in so many great things.
Thank you.
It's really great to have you on the show, and thanks for spending some time with me. And look forward to having you back to hear some more great successes with your company, the things your mom's doing, your work with Dr. Moses. We're so excited for you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I greatly appreciate it.
Folks, you've just watched another episode of New Business Buzz, where our guest today was Katie Miller. And we're going to flash Katie's email address again right at the bottom of the screen there. I think that's Katie at, I can't even
Online
remember,
course solutions.
Online Course Solution. There you go. It's coming scrolling in at the bottom of the screen now. Thanks for being with us, everyone. You just watched an episode of New Business Buzz. I'm Leon Thomas. Thanks for watching. Here we go.